जी दोस्तों, नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल। मैं दानिश महाजन, प्रोग्राम बदलता दौर में आपका एक बार फिर से स्वागत। आज रविवार का दिन, आज एक और हमारे साथ स्पेशल गेस्ट। आज के जो गेस्ट हैं वो बहुत खास हैं, उनसे आपको रूबरू करवाऊंगा। उनके कुछ प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं डिसेबिलिटीज के ऊपर, तो उसके ऊपर भी बात करेंगे। बहुत बार ऐसा कहा जाता है कि जो रिलीजियस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं उनका जो प्री कंसीव नोशन है डिसेबिलिटी को लेके वो राइट बेस्ड नहीं होता, तो कंजर्वेटिव अप्रोच रहती है। लेकिन पर्सनली जब मैंने अटेंड किया इनके इवेंट और इनको पढ़ा तो मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगा। तो मुझे लगा कि पब्लिक के सामने ऐसी चीजें भी आनी चाहिए कि क्या चाइ जो कैथोलिक हेल्थ एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया है उसके काम है विद रिगार्ड टू पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज, कैसे ये शुरू हुआ और क्या आगे के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं। लगभग 25,000 से ज्यादा लोगों को असिस्ट किया है चाइ ने, तो इसके ऊपर हम बात करेंगे। इट्स ऑनर टू टॉक टू फादर मैथ्यू टुडे। फादर मैथ्यू इज विद अस। फादर मैथ्यू, थैंक यू so much for giving your valuable time to Radio Dan.
Thank you, Danish. You're most welcome.
You are working, as a Director General, and you might have gone through a lot of studies. You have met a lot of people who are coming and talking to you with regard to the challenges of persons with disabilities. According to you, if I may ask 2-3 things, what troubles you with regard to persons with disability, and you want those things to be corrected as soon as it is possible. So what are the challenges you underline before persons with disabilities, according to your experience?
Yeah, well, Danish, after working a little more into disability since 5 years, I have really it has enriched my knowledge in the field of disability and the abilities of people who are having disabilities. This has given me opportunities to come across people who have disabilities. For example, people who are visual disability or locomotor disability. I've come people who are giving great leadership in the society, who have were able to leverage the opportunities and become very, very inspiring presence in the society. So these were new for me, these kind of experiences. So I feel that every person, people with disabilities, if given the right opportunities, have great potential, and sometimes even have even greater potential, because they probably God gives them with talents which others probably may not have. So one of the challenges probably is that people with disabilities sometimes are denied of opportunities, sometimes are denied of some rights which can make a difference in their lives. I also feel that disability adds to poverty because of livelihood issues, opportunities for education, and also sometimes in some societies, cultures, there is a stigma, so there is a social exclusion. But these are some of the challenges the people with disabilities are facing, and we can make a difference in those areas.
Exactly. You have underlined really you were bang on target when you underline these problems. And Father, you go to a lot of people, you hold conference with thousands and thousands of people. One thing what I want to understand from you, persons with disabilities are the most marginalized section among all disadvantaged groups, and one way or the other they've been discriminated day by day. As you earlier mentioned, there is stigma attached to that. A lot of people are trying to aware people wherever they go. Now time has changed, technology has empowered, but somehow attitudinal changes are not coming. We fail to aware people the way we must have. What should we do for that, according to you?
I think cultures are formed or attitudes are formed right from childhood. So we need to work when people are young or children, to help them to understand that every life is precious, that every human being is unique, and we should not discriminate people based on any of those areas which I mentioned earlier. We should also help young people. Maybe we should bring it into the curriculum also. We should help young people in the schools or in the education institutions, in families, by probably not only by teaching them, but also sharing with them inspiring stories of people or inspiring video clips and those kind of things, where they will really come to know that there's a lot of potential for people with disabilities, or they have other abilities. So that is one way probably we can make a difference in the attitude of the society, and it is not easy. It takes a lot of time and effort. One of the reasons we established this award is also to encourage a change in attitude, because once we recognize people with disabilities, and also people who work for disabilities, whether they are individuals or institutions, it can make a difference in the society. I think that it's a long-term process. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to come on the award issue. Before that, 1-2 questions I want to understand. When you call social inclusion, what do you mean by social inclusion? B, I want to understand, how do you provide support for livelihood? If people wants to get associated with the CHAI, can individuals get associated with?
Yeah, let me take social inclusion. Danish, for me, social inclusion is, suppose we have a family, and there are 2-3 children, and one child is having a disability. What do? Sometimes we love that child a little more than others, because we know that this child needs special care and attention. That is social inclusion. It should start from the family. And in a village, if the child has to get opportunities, we need to make sure that this child is included in the educational system, in whatever, if there is a park, or if there are recreational opportunities, this child should be part of everything. That's the way we can include. I think it should start at the grassroots level.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right from family, village, and of course, when it comes to leadership, whether that's grassroots leadership or state level or national leadership, we should make sure that people with disabilities are also with their own potential. They should be there. They should be heard. And if someone have a leadership skill, they should be given the right opportunities. So that is the way we should foster social inclusion.
Yeah. Do you think there is a need of regular disability discourse in India to generate awareness among mainstream society?
Of course, Ganesh. This is why I said these discourses should not be isolated discourses. If you could integrate it as part of the system, especially the educational system, because that is where social transformation happens. So I think then only we can really see a massive transformation or change in the society. So I wouldn't just say isolated discourses, 1 or 2 discourses, but it should be integrated into the whole system, especially the educational system.
Absolutely. Education is something which can change the lives of millions.
You yourself have experienced that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Father, I want to understand, or I want to know, we have gone through very tough time last year, and we are going through due to this COVID.
Yeah.
It has affected each and every section of society.
Yeah.
But one section which is hurt or hit badly was persons with disabilities. There are a lot of disabilities. They did not get proper rehab. They were not allowed to meet their caregivers. There was a shortage of blood. There was no medicines for some of the disabilities like hemophilia and thalassemia. So how did CHAI help people during COVID?
Yes. See, every disaster in every disaster, people who have some kind of a disadvantage will get more affected, which was true with COVID crisis as well. What we try to do is, in spite of the lockdown restrictions and all, our community-based rehabilitation, we have CBR workers who are in the field. They usually are in the same village or in the same locality. So we were reaching out to them through virtual platforms, whether it is telephones or through WhatsApp or whatever virtual platform available. And within those restrictions, with the permission of the authorities, local authorities, we got involved in distribution of dry rations because food was, livelihood was very important at that time. So we distributed dry rations. We also, after a while, we also started getting reaching to the communities, especially with those with disabilities, through our digital reach platform or digital platforms. And once the lockdown and all was over, of course, we resumed the activities. Of course, this was a very, very unprecedented situation, this COVID, and it hit us suddenly. The lockdown was very sudden. So some amount of suffering was there. People really went through a lot of suffering. We know, we have seen all over the country. And it affected people with disability a little more.
All right. Thank you so much, Father, for your valuable time. I appreciate you joined and you shared your views. I hope you enjoyed the talk, and looking forward to talk to you in coming days as well. And whenever you have any project, and we are always ready to collaborate. We are always ready to tell more about your projects to persons with disabilities and even to the mainstream society. So you are always welcome. Thank you so much for your precious time.
Yeah, you're most welcome, Danish, and thank you for reaching out to us. I really appreciate all that you are doing. You're a great inspiration for me as well. And I look forward to any possibilities of collaboration, Danish. So take care and stay connected. Okay.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
Bye.